Hi everyone, in this particular video I will explain how to write the discussion section of a research paper. Discussion section is a very critical part in the research paper which determines uh, the acceptance of your research paper during the review process. Moreover, writing discussion section is very difficult because there are many elements that are to be covered in the discussion section. So in this particular video, I will explain what are the different elements that should be present in the discussion paper to say that the research paper is a more effective research paper in the aspect of writing. So uh, let us start with the discussion section. So what must be present in the first paragraph of a research paper? So in the first paragraph, we have to write the research question. That means the restatement of the research question. Because in the introduction section, we write the research question. So the same research question must be repeated in the discussion section in the first paragraph. The reason for repeating the research question is here. So sometimes readers they don't read the introduction section, they directly go to the discussion section to start reading. So in such case the readers should be the reader should not look back into again the introduction section. So to avoid that we have to restate the research problem there. Also we need to we need to we need to provide all the key findings or the key observations. All the key observations must be written in the discussion section. This is again not to look into again into the result section of the research paper by the readers. So after that we have to explain all the key findings. So explanation of key findings is not like repeating the results section in the discussion section, though we mention the key findings or the key result. So while writing the key findings or the key findings or the results, so we don't write the data, we don't write the data, but we write the meaning of the data. That is very important. So what is the meaning of the data that I will explain in this video. So that is very important. So first we write the research problem, followed by we write the key findings. Then we start explaining each key finding. So for example, the research question is like this: investigating the anti-cancer property of a drug in cancer cell lines. That is the research question. So such research question must be written in the discussion in the first paragraph, writing like the current objective of the study. The objective of this current study is investigating the anti-cancer property of a drug in cancer cell line. So that is our result. So under key findings, we may have so many findings in our study. All such key findings supports the all such findings they may support to the research question. So that means that they may support our hypothesis. Our hypothesis is that the particular drug has a anti-cancer property. Okay. So for example see cell yes for example, so our result is like this. So in presence of the drug, the cell viability is decreased 80%. So in presence of the drug, the cell viability of cancerous cell lines decreased 80%. So this is the result, this is the data. So we have data that so 80% of the cells have died because of the exposure of this particular drug. So what is the meaning of it? So when cells are died in presence of a drug, so it means that, so it suggests that, or it means that, that the drug has an anti-cancer property. The drug has anti-cancer property. So we can explain that. So the cell the cells number is decreased. The cells number is decreased in presence of the drug, because it suggests that the drug has an anti-cancer property. So of writing meaning of your data, so what should be written? So we should write the scientific reason for the our meaning. That is also very important. So it's simply saying that the drug has an anti-cancer property is not enough, is not sufficient. So even we have to write why you observed such result, why you got such results. So for that you have to write the logical explanation why that cell viability has decreased in presence of the drug. So the scientific reason we have to write. So we can say that these results, or the results, is due to the uh, due to the uh, due to the you can say that, no, due to for example, due to the property of drug, uh, to stop, or to stop the progression of the cell cycle. Maybe the drug maybe the drug binds to the a particular enzyme. That enzyme is very important for cell cycle progression. So such kind of scientific reasons we have to provide for the less cell viability. Since the drug interacts with the enzyme which is very important for cell cycle progressions, so the cell cycle progression is further stopped by this particular drug. So that is the scientific reasons for writing a particular when you write a meaning for a so when you write a result in the discussion section, so we have to provide the logical explanation, so that we can say the scientific reason behind the result, why the cell viability has decreased. Just simply giving the meaning that the drug has anti-cancer property is not enough. How this drug could stop the, or could decrease the cell viability, or could stop the cell cycle progression. So such things should be written. So this is called as the logical explanation for the result. So this is the logical explanation for the result. After that we have to write the similarities that are present in the literature. Suppose there is one more study, so maybe in some other cancer cell lines, so they the same drug might have used to show that this drug uh, has the anti-cancer property for that particular kind of cancer. So we can we have to quote the, we have to cite the similar results from the literature. This is to provide a scientific evidence for our hypothesis. See, definitely our hypothesis must be backed up by, it must be backed up by the scientific literature available. Even when we suggest a research gap, we find out this research gap based on the scientific literature available. So even our results, after getting after conducting the experiments, so whatever results we will get, so these results must be supported by the, again, the literature available. Sometimes we find the results similar. So in such case, just mentioning our results are similar to their results is not enough. Even we have to write why there is a similar result, why there is a similar results, that we have to write. And even we have to explain how our study is different from their study. That is also very important. Maybe they might have used a different concentration, and we have used a different concentration. So that difference we have to write. Maybe they have, their exposure time is different, our exposure time is different. So these things, maybe the stage of cancer tissues that they have studied is different, or the race, or the cell lines. So many variations we may find out. So those things should be written. So that all should be written in the discussion section. Also contrasting. Sometimes the same drug might have used in some cancer. Maybe in that particular study, so that drug did not have any effect. So they investigated the effect of this particular drug with respect to the anti-cancer property. Mm, so in that particular study, they found the drug did not have any effect. So did not have any effect. So we have to write how our their study is different from our study again. Maybe they might have exposed cells for a very less period of time or less concentrations. So such things we have to mention. So contrasting literature is also very important. How their studies are different and our studies are different, and why their studies and our studies, why their results and our results are not same. So that we have to write, because uh, literature, as I said, so providing literature, citing literature for supporting our results is very important. After that, implications means uses. So in that particular broad area, in that particular field, so how it's going to have its impact. So implications means nothing but impact, that is very important. So we can say that it highlights, so these results highlights that this particular drug will be very useful for anti-cancer therapy in the particular cancer type. So that we can write. So we can also write uh, these studies this studies shows that see the this study shows that so the native problems of the chemotherapy will be minimized by changing the some concentrations or something. So we can write, so adverse effects, so that we can write. So these are the implications that we write, and the limitations, if at all there in our study. So the limitations also must be explained. So because maybe in future some other team may look into that particular limitations, and they will work on it. So that's why limitations of the study also must be reported. Suppose sometimes we might have used a very less concentration, or we might have tested for a very less period of time, we might have used a very less number of sample size. So such things, such limitations must be explained in the discussion section um, without without writing any other explanations, like no reasons for not doing something. So such things should not be mentioned, but limitations should be mentioned. We should not mention that we have not taken more sample size because our study did not have sufficient time to work on the more sample size. So reasons we should not write for limitations, only limitations must be written here. Next, coming to the future suggestions. Future suggestions are also very important. For this particular result, we could write that future studies may look into the mechanism of this drug in cell cycle. So that future suggestions we can write, or we can write the future studies may look into the expression change of proteins in the presence of this particular in exposed to this particular drug, or gene expression changes in presence of this particular drug. So such future suggestions also we can write here. So these are the elements that must be present in a discussion section. So this is a template that can be used for writing the discussion section of the research paper. Suppose your result is SOD enzyme activity in cancerous cells. Suppose you found increased levels of SOD enzyme in cancerous cells in exposure to a particular drug. So it suggests that what it says is that the drug induces free radicals. So the drug induces free radicals to activate the anti-defense mechanism. So that is the meaning of the result. So the result is increased SOD levels in the tissues, and the meaning for this result is it suggests that, or it highlights that the drug produces free radicals, so that the cells activates their anti-defense mechanism, antioxidant mechanism to protect themselves from the free radicals. So that is, so why, so we should write why you observed such result. So logical explanation, how scientific, so logical explanation we should write. So logical expression is this increased SOD levels due to the drug that produces or that stimulates free radical formations. So that reason or scientific reasons we have to write. So you can write usually or generally drugs when the drugs are given or when cells are exposed to drugs, so usually the drugs produces free radicals, and these free radicals activates the antioxidant machinery. So such scientific reasons we have to write. So that is also very important. Then we have to write the similarities in literature, if there are any studies, there are any other studies uh, that that sh- mm, that showed a high SOD levels, so that we have to write again. Contrasting results, if there, that we have to write. So just writing the just giving citations is not enough, as I said. Even we have to write why the results are same and how our studies are same with them, or how our studies are different from them. So such things we have to write. Implications we have to write. We can write that no, this particular drug this particular drug causes the formation of the causes release of or formation of free radicals in the cellular system to activate the antioxidant system in cancerous cells. So antioxidant system is one mechanism one mechanism that is very important to for the cells to protect themselves from the these oxidants. So such implications we can write. So that means this is a very good this is a very good stimulator of antioxidant system that we can write. So next, limitations of these studies we can write. So if at all any limitations that we can write, the future suggestions we can write. The future suggestions, the molecular mechanisms behind it, or expression of proteins in presence of this particular drug. So such things, the future suggestions also we can write regarding that particular result. So this is how we have to write the result section, sorry, discussion section, writing all the results. So thank you for watching this video.